Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. This is Orphanlast, aka Skylar Madison, and today I'm coming at you with another Noblefrugal Studio collaboration video. Now, before I go ahead and get into the intro of the video, this first 2 minutes of this video are not sped up at all, so I can basically show you guys what it is that I'm doing. Because, to be honest, I've been thinking about doing this all week, just simply because I knew that every single one of the joints, the gray mortar, it's all on its own level or layer. It's on its own layer. So see what I just did there? I selected the color right next to the column there, and I drew a line right there on the border on the column. So now I selected the color of the window and did the same thing, and so there's no joint that's the color of the building itself. So I continue using the window, and I continue using that. Basically, what I'm doing here is I'm creating, I'm raking the joints. That's what it's called. Whenever you do block work, brickwork, stone masonry, or what have you, they use a striker on the joints, or they use a tuck pointer and kind of rake back the joints in some way or another. And so here I'm just drawing in what will basically be the equivalent of raking the joints out a little bit. And so after I'm done with that, after I'm done like selecting all these colors and drawing these lines and everything, I go to the layer that is the joints, the gray lines there, and I select the opaque, is what it's called inside of, see right here, select opaque. So now I have nothing but the joints selected. I press Control-Shift-I, so I have everything but the joints selected. I select the joint, the layer that has all the stuff that I've been doing, and I press Delete. And if you look really closely, I raked out the joints. Like it looks like wherever there's the joint, you can kind of see a little divot, and it's going on throughout the entire length of that column, and I think it looks really nice. Anyway, so since I kind of prolonged the intro to this video, I'll go ahead and give the intro right now. So in this series, the Noblefrugal Studio collaboration series, I paint out this background. Once I'm finished painting out this background, I'm going to go ahead and submit it over to Noblefrugal Studio, which is a channel ran by a guy called Sebastian. Sebastian's a really good guy. His channel is primarily focused on open tunes, and I like his teaching style. So if you guys want to kind of check out his channel and all that good stuff, feel free to do so. A link is supplied inside of the video description below. And furthermore, he's going to use this background in order to animate a complex animated scene using open tunes and using the background. So if you guys are interested in that, that's cool. So I've done a lot inside of this particular collaboration. I really hope it pans out. I genuinely, truly, I did not plan on it being this elaborate at all. At all. I had no idea that I was gonna go this gung-ho with it and have 25 videos about this. Holy cow. I'm hoping not to exceed 30. This is probably the most extensive collaboration anyone has ever done in the history of YouTube. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to pan out. Hopefully Noblefrugal or Sebastian will want to, contribute a good number of videos to this background, animating a complex scene in it, and all that good stuff, but I don't know. We'll have to see. Ultimately, the reason why I went so gung-ho with it is because he gave me reference images of the 1800s, and I'm just thinking, holy cow, these are really elaborate buildings. I mean, they all kind of boil down to just being, a box, but it's all the other things associated with the box, the the columns, the elaborate windows and such like that, the brick and all that. Nowadays, buildings, they're not as elaborate at all. Like, a lot of the buildings that happen to be inside of cities and stuff like that, the skyscrapers, basically that's what this would be nowadays. If this exact same town was built today, this congested and everything, these would all probably be skyscrapers. And so most of what skyscrapers are built out of is just gigantic concrete slabs, and they just kind of poured into, a form and stuff like that. At least that's the way I understand it. Of course, I don't really live in New York or anything, but every time I've gone into a city where there are skyscrapers and such like that, that's all that I see. It's nothing but concrete slabs and stuff like that. There's not much stone masonry done nowadays on these big buildings. It's usually a millionaire who wants to have a nice looking house, and they hire a stonemason. And contrary to popular belief, yes, stonemasons do use a hammer and chisel. There is a lot of use with the saw and a diamond blade and all that, but a stonemason uses a hammer and chisel. That's just like, it's one of the oldest professions in all of history. Next to hunting and gathering food and such like that, and farming. It's as old as those. And out of all the many different centuries, the trade hasn't changed too much, other than, although I know how to build like some really cool walls and structures and stuff like that, 90% of what stonemasons do nowadays is just veneer work. Stonemasons, like a lot of the stonework that's made nowadays, or a lot of the stonework that you see nowadays is what's called phony stone. It's manufactured stone that's been made by human beings. It's fake, and it's probably going to fall apart within 10-15 years. It's pretty worthless. It may look nice for the first little while, but it's worthless. Basically, someone who's actually trained to be a stonemason, they look at phony stone and they kind of scoff at it, and they look at the people who put up the phony stone and such like that, and they're not considered to be stonemasons at all. They're not. There's no skill to it. And a lot of the time, they don't even know that stonemasons follow a pattern or anything like that. See, the reason why I'm sharing you guys this information is because, it depends on what type of buildings you want to build and the sort of mindset that goes into play with stonemasonry. And it's nice to kind of, like, when you go ahead and make a building or something inside of an image, if you're able to kind of understand the mindset, the process and stuff, you're able to make the structure a lot easier. That's at least what I've found. Like, before I turned 20 years, well, before I turned, about 20 years of age and started to lay stone with my... Actually, I have already mentioned I'm a third-generation stonemason with my family and such like that. When I first started laying stone with my family, when I'd be drawing a building, none of this stuff would come to mind at all. It was just, I just try to draw a building. And I look at a lot of the buildings that I tried drawing in high school, and I think, wow, that looks like crap. I had no idea what I'm doing. And I'm pretty sure at some point I'm going to look at these buildings and think, wow, that looks like crap. It's kind of inevitable. As time develops, you're going to get better, and you're going to look at your earlier work and think, I could have done better. And it is what it is, you know. We need to have time. We have to give ourselves the time it takes to learn, and we have to look at these older images and understand that it's quality and such like that. And you know, I'm almost at 700 subscribers, so it can't be that bad, I don't think. You know, I said something in my last video. You know, it didn't even occur to me as being something that I'd regret, but I said this, and then I listened to it, and I thought, oh gosh, man, I sound like such a pig-headed bastard. Basically, I said something along the lines of, I know that I'm a good artist. I know for a fact, or something. I'm competent. Trust me. I know plenty of artists out there that are way better, that blow me out of the water. Like Jim Lee. Jim Lee. Okay, the best comic book artist, in my opinion, in history. And he's alive today. He usually draws Batman comic books. Amazing artist. One of his earliest images that kind of blows me away, even still today. I've seen it ever since I was a kid. I think it's the Submariner. Okay, I think it's Marvel's version of Aquaman. Okay, the Submariner. He's sitting on this throne. And and the camera's kind of looking top down towards him, and it's just a really super dynamic image. Like, that image alone blows me out of the water. But you know, I mean, I think I'm competent at this, and I mean, like in this image right here, you know, things are starting to pop a lot more than they used to. I mean, I had the chance to add shadows and such, so in the next video I'm hoping to start adding some more detail to the grass, to the sidewalk, to the road, and maybe make a few trees, maybe address the sky, and then in the video after that maybe some photo texturing. Anyways, guys, that pretty much concludes it for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't, please like, share, and subscribe anyways. There's a lot of work that goes into this, and feel free to take a look at my other videos appearing on the screen right now.